We are right next to Senator Jack Reed's office. And I'm going to read a statement that was alluded to earlier of multiple organizers who... I'll try to get loud. I'm vaccinated, we're good. This is a statement from a group called RAM Inc. It's Resist and Abolish the Military-Industrial Complex. They stopped Senator Reed this morning. Quote, "We are calling on Senator Jack Reed to immediately condemn Israel's colonial occupation of Palestine, an occupation that is enforced with violence and upheld by a racist apartheid regime. During today's action, Senator Reed told us that he supports a ceasefire, quote, on both sides, but refused to acknowledge the violent displacement of Palestinians from their homes that is happening as we speak, the vast imbalance of power between Israel and Palestine, or the United States' role in financially backing the Israeli military. Since the latest round of violence began," this number is out of date, it's I think 137, at least 137 Palestinians, including 31 children, have been killed in the Gaza Strip, more than 900 wounded.
Shame.
That's right, shame. Every year, the United States government gives billions of dollars in military aid to Israel. Additionally, in the past decade, Israel purchased $7.2 billion of weapons from U.S.-based military contractors, just like Textron. This includes purchases from Textron, General Dynamics, and Raytheon, 3 American companies that have a large presence in Rhode Island. As the chairperson of the Senate Armed Forces Committee, Senator Reed has an obligation to condemn Israel's violence and to end U.S. aid to the Israeli military that is perpetuating human rights abuses, displacement, and ethnic cleansing. We will continue taking action until Jack Reed and our other representatives speak out against the Israeli occupation of Palestine, and we will keep organizing until all people everywhere are free from the violence of imperialism. Yes, that is RAM Incorporated. Everyone give them a round of applause. Yeah! And it should be noted that even other representatives, not just Jack Reed, Representative David Cicilline, who's in the House Progressive Caucus, has said nothing really about Palestine, and he calls himself a progressive. He doesn't even support the BDS movement. I wanted to just end by highlighting 3 of the companies that Senator Jack Reed took money from this year. He took $54,800 from Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is the company that makes Air Force jets. Senator Reed also took $44,625 from L3 Harris Technologies, which makes surveillance equipment that is actively used all across the world to oppress people. And lastly, he took $29,525 from General Dynamics, another weapons manufacturer. So let me ask you this. Is Reed serving the people of Rhode Island? No! Who is he serving? He's serving himself. He's also serving his corporate masters who are profiting off of Palestinian ethnic cleansing and apartheid. So we need Senator Reed to actually condemn Israeli occupation and apartheid. We also need him to support the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement and use his power on the Senate Armed Services Committee to end aid. They call it aid. I don't even know what. Anyway, end money to Israel for killing Palestinians. Moreover, place sanctions on the state of Israel over its treatment of the Palestinian people, as is supported by all Palestinian civil society organizations, all Palestinian trade unions, and people across the world over. And I'm going to hand it off to Joel. Is Joel over here? Where's Joel? Joel! So Joel's coming back. Joel has some words to share. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right, I actually didn't know I was speaking, but yeah. Let's talk about Jack Reed. He sits as the chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee. He signs the bill that gives Israel $3.8 billion every year for weapons. Shame! Let's talk about what Jack Reed supports. In 2014, when Israel was bombing Gaza, when over 500 children were killed, Benjamin Netanyahu accused the Palestinians of wanting to produce telegenically dead kids. That's what Israel does. That's what Israel is. They kill Palestinians and blame the Palestinians for making them kill them. And that's what Jack Reed supports. Shame! institutional power. And in Rhode Island, until today, I'm sure they thought that Palestine solidarity and BDS was something they didn't have to worry about. Years ago, they decided that they were going to ban BDS in the state like they have in dozens of other states. Shame on that. Shame. Let's talk about France, though. In France, they decided they were going to ban Palestine rallies on Nakba Day. They got a rude surprise when thousands of French people came out into the streets to support Palestinians. They can ban BDS all they want. It's not legal trickery. BDS is us. BDS is the people. They've got the institutional power, but we together have the potential power. The student divestment campaigns that have won across the country from 2012 through today are just the beginning. When the graduate student workers at the University of California, 10,000 strong, voted to endorse BDS. When the dock workers in California blocked an Israeli ship from offloading. When Italian workers just today found out that arms were on a ship bound for Israel and shut that shit down. That's just the beginning! We remember the battle against apartheid in South Africa. We remember the BDS movement. Against South Africa, workers around the world used their potential power to do what had seemed to be impossible until it was done. We're going to do the same for Palestine. How do we stop apartheid? BDS! How do we stop apartheid? BDS! How do we stop apartheid? BDS! How do we stop apartheid? BDS!
Thank you all so much. So we're going to keep going. But before we go, we need to say something to Jack Reed. We're going to tell him that we're going to be back. So after me, say, "Hey, Senator Jack Reed."
Hey, Senator Jack Reed!
All right, wait, I want to do that. We got to go a little louder. He's not here. He's home, but we got to make sure he